I'm going to call now Minister in the Presidency, sorry to disturb your conversation, Khumbudzo, Ntshavheni. Basically, this mid-term budget from the ANC or from government side, does it take us to the right direction in terms of dealing both with economic growth as well as job creation?
It does. It's from the government perspective, it does. Remember, we collectively, and I serve also in the Ministers' Committee on the budget, so we collectively said what is the growth trajectory we're looking at, what are the priorities we're looking at. We're looking at the priorities for job creation and also for reducing the high cost of living in the country, growing our economy. So where we are, what we prioritize, the infrastructure investment for one, it's a direct investment on initiatives that will create more jobs but also grow the economy. And linked to that is the procurement bill that has been passed that's going to come into effect. That allows us to then ensure that in that procurement processes, SMMEs and local communities can then benefit from this big infrastructure projects. And linked to that is the new regulation on the PPP arrangement, the public-private partnerships. The regulations are going to make it easier and quicker to make sure that we then unlock the investment in infrastructure and other major projects. And additionally, he spoke about the infrastructure fund, the BFI, and unlocking the next round of the BFI now, because we are very committed to that, because we think the growth of infrastructure and the development of infrastructure in the country is critical, not only for the economy, for the jobs, but also for the economy to function. Remember, the projects he has mentioned the work we are doing on the freight and logistics, getting back the rail lines, getting the ports to work, and those investment, the big investment that is making to ready ourselves for the NHI, but the big investments that we are making, the unlocking of the Sanral project pipeline to the value of 85 billion rands, because the GFIP, the Gauteng improvement plan debt issue has been resolved or is being resolved in the matter. So we are confident on that. And secondly, the other issue that we are confronted with is how do we then manage our debt vis-a-vis the spending that we need to spend on the economy, on growing the economy. And he has indicated that the debt servicing costs are going to stabilize in 2025, 2026, and then start to decline. Why is that important? It's that important because the money that we are utilizing to service the debt can then be redirected into other service delivery initiatives. So for us, it's a great budget, and we are ready for the expenditure and the rollout.
Just lastly, Minister, there is a crisis of crime in the country, mass shootings, extortion. Does the Finance Minister have additional allocations to fight crime, particularly in rural areas?
Yes, so we manage as the Justice and Crime Prevention Cluster, we've worked on a strategy of dealing with crime. That's why you're seeing the turnaround in terms of when the crime happens, the response rate and the ability to arrest has been very quick. We would prefer a situation where those crimes are not in. That's why we're using intelligence-driven operations so that we can get to the root of it. And we're starting to develop what is the pattern of that. You have got stock theft issues that are coming up in the Eastern Cape in particular. Majority of these incidences are that. You've got others that are related to family disputes that you deal with. And we have, in the organized crime rate, we have been moving very consistently in dealing with those. That's why the heists, cash and transit heists are very much reducing. Then when we have a special fund which is called the CARA, where the monies that are recovered from criminal activities are then availed for the criminal security cluster to utilize in critical priorities. And thus we augment that. In addition to the budget, we apply for the utilization of those funds to deal with the crime situation. We are confident we'll get a handle on the situation in the Eastern Cape, we'll get a handle of the situation in KZN, like we got a handle of the situation in Limpopo. We are also going to stabilize the situation in Northwest and also Gauteng, which are the major hotspots. And you recall the Minister of Police engaged with the communities in the Western Cape on how to deal with the crimes of drugs and all those things. And we are getting a handle on that situation.